Just between Asia's two giants, India and China, sits tiny, landlocked Nepal. Home of the Himalayas, Nepal boasts 8 out of the 10 tallest mountains in the world, including the mighty Everest. Its natural beauty and cultural magnificence appear idyllic, but behind this image of Shangri-La lies a dark secret. In the next half hour, CNN's Freedom Project takes you just beyond the borders of Nepal's capital, Kathmandu, on the trail of criminals engaging in the shocking illicit trade of live human organs. Nepal is home to many natural and cultural wonders, but there's one fact not touted in any travel brochures. Human rights groups list Nepal as a haven for sex and labor trafficking. Now, though, an even more gruesome form of abuse is coming to light, the trafficking of human organs, and it remains largely unchecked. An hour outside the capital, Kathmandu, is a district locals call Kavre. Most people here survive on the land, raising livestock and farming for their families. Although close to the capital, Kavre is a long way from the trappings of modern society. Life is simple here. We've come to this area because Kavre has developed another name, the Kidney Bank of Nepal. The Forum for Protection of People's Rights says villagers in this district are the primary targets for human traffickers looking for kidneys to sell on the black market. Illiterate and impoverished, the villagers are duped, their organs stolen by people looking to make quick money, no matter the cost. The activist group says more than 300 people have been victims of kidney trafficking in this district alone. We are about to meet one of those victims. Now Raj Pariyar makes a living by selling cow's milk and doing seasonal labor for nearby farmers. While Pariyar's 1-year-old son plays, his wife cooks the morning meal. She says she worries about the future. She's afraid of her husband's ailing health. Pariyar is sick and is getting worse by the day.
My body is giving me a lot of trouble. Occasionally, I also feel sharp pain around the operated area.
It's been 14 years since Pariyar lost the kidney in a scam orchestrated by an organ trafficking ring. He was working in Kathmandu when his foreman told him that if he let doctors cut out a chunk from his body, he would receive 30 lakh rupees, about $30,000.
He assured me nothing will happen. He also promised me that the meat will grow back.
Then a middleman took Pariyar to Chennai in southern India.
I thought, if the meat will regrow again and I get paid for it, why not? I had no idea they were taking out my kidney.
He was told to say the recipient was his sister, and the traffickers had falsified documents saying so. 3 days after the operation, Pariyar returned to Kathmandu with less than $300. he never heard from the traffickers again.
Slowly, I started having doubts, so I went to the doctor. That's when I found out I was missing a kidney.
He says his physical condition is deteriorating, and in a village reliant on agriculture and hard labor, Paria's inability to work puts his family in jeopardy.
Everyone thinks I'm going to die soon, and therefore no one gives me a loan anymore.
Paria's wife now has to work to support the family. They have many mouths to feed, but these 2 cows, a house, and a tiny plot of land is all they have. And with worsening health, Paria cannot find a way out of his misery.
I don't know if I'll die today or tomorrow. I'm just counting my days.
Economics lies at the heart of why so many villagers fall prey to organ traffickers. For most, farming and rearing livestock are the only reliable ways to make a living. One bad harvest or a big medical bill could spell financial ruin. So when traffickers come to the village with promises of fast money or a well-paying job overseas, many are willing to hear them out. We're driving around in Hokse village right now, which has developed the unfortunate reputation of being the epicenter of kidney trafficking in Nepal. This house, that house, those 2 houses over there. Activists here tell us that several members from each of these households is missing a kidney. Social stigma and threats from traffickers keep many victims from coming forward. These men were willing to risk the repercussions, but some had reservations about showing their faces, which we blurred for their protection. तर सबैजना तपाईहरु यही यतातिरकै हो नि हैन काभ्रेको कसै सबैजना काभ्रेमा यस्तो भएको धेरै भगवान जाने के गर्नु. Everyone here claims he has been duped or forced to give away his kidney to organ traffickers. Indra Bahadur Tamang says he went to the hospital as part of a job interview.
They took me to India saying they can find me a better job. Then I was taken to a hospital for a checkup. One day they said, "Your blood matches. Are you ready to do the job?" I said, "What job?" They didn't tell me what was going on. They put me on a bed, and then I was drugged.
He received the equivalent of $10 for his kidney.
When I reached India, I found out the reality. I said, "I don't want to give my kidney. I want to go back." But I was forced to stay. I was beaten and threatened. They said, "If you leave, we will find and kill you." They did the same thing to my brother. Both of our bodies are ruined. All we can do now is regret that we fell for the dream of a better job in India. At least my brother is not married. I am, and I have to take care of my family.
Ganga Tamang sold his kidney after being told it was the only way he could afford an operation to save his dying wife.
I cry every night. My back hurts really bad around the area where the operation was done. I need a glass of alcohol every night. It hurts too much. I might die any day. Our lives have become worthless.
Neeraj Tanawar was only 17.
तपाईलाई थाहा थियो कि तपाईको मृगला बेच्नलाई लग्दैछ भनेर त्यही पनि तपाई जानुभयो किन
So त्यो बेलामा खासै त्यति चाहिँ मलाई थाहा थिएन जस्तो पनि
I was young. I was told that nothing will happen and I could live like a normal person.
संगीत चाहिँ सिक्ने मेरो रुचि थियो र बचपन
I wanted to go to a music school. My plan was to use the money to study music.
He wasn't given the money promised. and with his deteriorating health cannot hold a job. While a person can survive with just one kidney, but present a host of health problems, even if strict medical care is followed. Dr. Rishi Kumar Kafle is the director of the National Kidney Center in Kathmandu.
Every year they should undergo screening, the kidney functioning well or not. Another part is that should take care of water, should take adequate water so that 2 to 3 liters of urine is produced every day, and should not take toxic medicines that will jeopardize the single functioning kidney. But many patients who do not take care are at risk.
Most of the victims have not been to the doctor ever, not even once. We started taking them to the doctor for checkups. The situation is very dire.
Rajendra Gimire leads the Forum for Protection of People's Rights.
Doctors say stay on medication, do regular checkups. But these victims don't have access to those. The government doesn't provide it to them. And they can't afford it themselves. So it's a risk for a human body. These people are fighting a battle of life and death.
While demand may be high, Gimere says the focus should be on protecting and educating those who are being targeted as a supply.
There are victims who have been told, "Give me your kidney. It will regrow like a mango in the tree." Do you consider that as being informed?
Similar to other victims, we noted all of these men had their operations carried out in well-known hospitals in neighboring India. The reason, as we find out, begins with a strict organ donation law in Nepal.
One can only donate the kidney inside a family. If the donor is not the recipient's relative, that person cannot donate the kidney.
The black market for kidneys is stronger than ever. To skirt Nepal's strict organ donation laws, many traffickers prefer to take their victims across the border where there's higher demand and where it is more difficult to cross-check Nepali records. Nepal has an open border policy with India, and Nepalis don't need a visa to travel there. This is one of India's best hospitals. Of around 400 kidney transplant patients who come to Apollo Hospital in New Delhi for kidney transplants every year, roughly 60 are foreign nationals. Dr. Sandeep Gularia, a senior nephrosurgeon, rules out any possibility of illegal transplants taking place in his hospital.
Are there any cases of where the poor are still being exploited?
You cannot buy or sell organs in this country anymore, right? But having said that, you must remember that even murder is illegal, right? So if it does happen somewhere, I don't know, but currently most good centers would not do an unrelated transplant.
An authorization committee at the Apollo Hospital screens the documents and the donor before signing off on any operation. As for the foreign nationals, Dr. Gularia says the committee has no option but to trust the government-certified documents.
The government of that country issues a document which is certified by that government, authenticated by their embassy here, which says it is out of love and affection or they're related. So it's very difficult for us to doubt, a state document.
Counterfeit documents can be convincing. DNA tests are also required at hospitals like Apollo, but even with that, Dr. Gularia admits there seems to be a loophole.
But suppose they're a bit distant. For example, he's a distant relative where DNA typing may not work. Then you have no way of making out. But you have to believe by what the government of that country is saying, or the documents that are authenticated by the embassy.
Who is responsible for ensuring the documents are legitimate and the donors are actually related to the patient? It's a question that takes us straight to the Nepali government and its embassy in New Delhi. Unraveling the complicated web of an illegal organ trafficking operation is difficult business. Traffickers use proxies at different stages of the process. First, someone will approach the victim. Another will create his fake documents, and then another will escort him to the hospital. The ring uses corruption, loopholes, or lack of government oversight to carry out their devious agenda. After several months of calling and writing, we showed up at the Nepali embassy in New Delhi in January.
Here to meet Mr. Adhikari. That's what I've been trying to call so many times for an appointment. Or is there anyone else we can speak to?
We are trying to two things. Number one, control any unwanted or false fake document. Any criminal activities we are trying to control. Number two, at the same time, we are also trying to facilitate the victims. To help on our part as far as we can.
Adhikari says the government is well aware of the trade and is working to stop it. He shows us a sample of the no objection certificate, a letter from the embassy to hospitals in India sanctioning the operation. Photographs of the donor and the recipient were not included in the letter until recently, which means anyone could show up at the hospital, provide papers saying they were that person, and have their kidney removed. Activists say, for the longest time, this is the loophole traffickers used.
So before 2 months ago, this was not
About
the system?
2 months ago, yes. No,
You didn't have photographs?
No.
So that was a loophole that many people might have been using because there's no photographs.
Yes.
This new law mandates photographs of donors and recipients appear on the certificate. The ambassador hopes this will close the loophole.
There is a seal of the embassy on both photographs. We feel it is not that easy to do that.
Yes.
But we are trying to control the further.
So you're pretty confident that this process right now is foolproof?
As far as we know. As I have been saying, if we sense some loopholes are still there, then certainly we will try to block them. And we are trying, but I cannot claim 100% that everything has been controlled.
As the Nepali government tries to tighten its policies, in Kavre, police are trying to crack down on the criminal rings. Last year, authorities arrested 10 people accused of involvement in an organ trafficking ring. Sub-Inspector Dipendra Chand led the investigation.
You've just arrested 8 people. 5 of them are still inside this jail. They say they're not guilty. How confident are you that they are?
They claim they are not guilty for the kidney trade, but this is an organised crime. That means that more than one person is involved. In this case, it's usually a racket of 8 to 10 people. They all have small responsibilities. One takes the donor from a village to Kathmandu, the other takes him from India, and there and so on. So none of the arrested people accepts that he or she is responsible for selling kidneys, but everyone has minor roles.
Chand says stopping the underground trade is difficult. If they crack down in one village, the traffickers simply move to another. But while it may prove difficult, he says his department is determined to end the trade of human organs.
Why are you passionate about kidney trafficking?
There are other crimes as well. But you have to understand that from one single village, more than 100 people have sold their kidneys. Of course, people can donate their kidneys to their families, but this is growing as a business. There is a case where 5 members of one family have been duped into selling their kidneys. This is growing as an epidemic, so we're actively involved in trying to stop it.
What is your hope now going forward?
म चाहिँ आशावादी छु
I am hopeful because our efforts are helping to raise awareness across all sectors. It has also created a sense of duty at the governmental level. If all the stakeholders contribute, this problem will be resolved.
But while the issue is now making headlines in Nepal's newspapers, for villagers like Ganga Thamang, the attention is too little, too late.
सोचेर रिस हुँदैन ऊ हुँदैन
रिस उठेर जिन्दगी फर्केर आउँदैन
Being angry doesn't bring back what he's lost. It's very tough to survive, he says.